Alright, so your home is your castle. A lot of preppers believe in having a second area to run away to, but many of us can't afford that. I, for one, can't afford buying some other separate place. I do have a place I can go, but really, it's good to have that alternative. But the best place to be is home. You know, it's better psychologically. It's better because you're going to know your area a lot more because you're there every single day. And hopefully you know your neighbors. So here are the basic three. Your basic three: shelter, water, food. Basically these are the mainstay of your prepping. You need a place to hold all your stuff. You need a place to defend all your stuff. You need shelter is everything. Obviously, that's why we all own homes, because we can't be running around out in the elements. But there's a lot of different aspects that we're going to cover along the lines of shelter. And as far as defending your home, as far as storage, what do you do? Whether some of you don't even have a lot of space. I know some of you might. I know personally who live in apartments, and I'm gonna try to address all these different situations that you're under. Now, my advice is to try to own a home if you can, but that's easier said than done, especially in this economy. So the most important thing is we work around what you can budget. Generally, I budget about, this is for me, I budget $150 every other paycheck. I can't do both paychecks because of my wonderful mortgage. So we have to consider our shelter, and that's what the next couple of vids are going to be. I'm going to really kind of go through exactly how I look at my surroundings, and it's one of the biggest parts of where you live is that you know your area very well. And it's easy to do. I mean, first you should know all of your ins and outs of your local roads. Because if there is some kind of disaster and you need to get out of Dodge, if you need to get out of where you're living, the first thing that the government will be doing is shutting down all interstates and highways for their own use. And also to control population and control movement. So your only avenue of moving around at that point are going to be your local roads. So it's imperative to know your local roads and have maps, which I will show. I'll show you the maps that I have. Another tool to know your area is Google Earth. I'll show you exactly what I did. Basically, you get Google Earth on your computer. So we're basically really going simplistic because I don't, like I said, I don't know who will be watching this from Word of Life, and I know a lot of them are computer challenged. You can also get your nephews and nieces to help you, but you want to get on your little search engines and just put in Google Earth, like so. And there it goes. It comes right up for me. Let's see if I can do this through the camera. And there you go. You have Google Earth 6, googleearth.com. You're going to want to download this. So download, or I'm just going to download Google Earth. And I'll take you through the process. Now, keep in mind, always look for these check marks. And really you don't want anything extra, especially for those of you who are not computer savvy. You don't want extra things popping up and rewriting what you're already used to. So you just uncheck this stuff. Look for stuff that's checked, because that's what's going to come along with your what you're downloading. And then you have the whole agree to terms, and then just agree to download. Now there's plenty of tutorials on how to use Google Earth, and if you're really not not really familiar with computers for that matter, I would go through all of these and spend the time, because this is a really great tool to really get to know your area. And then you can go out in real time and drive around and explore it based on what you found on Google Earth. It's also kind of scary that you can actually zoom right up to your house, and anybody else in the world can do the same. So we're gonna just give some address and zoom right up on it, and I'll show you kind of what I did. Okay, since we're this video is geared to Word of Life Christian Ministries, we will put in our address. Dover, New Jersey, and hit search. Immediately the Google Earth is going to zoom right in, and then we'll zoom in even further when using your mouse. Alright, and there we are. There's Word of Life. I wonder if this is Sunday because it's all filled. And there we are, 67 Bassett Highway. Alright, so you want to throw in, you want to go directions. You hit directions up here, which is the top left-hand corner here, and say wherever you want to try to get to. In case all hell breaks loose, you have another place to go. And there you go. I just put in Niagara from Dover, and it automatically gives you a path. And what I did is I actually zoomed in to the path it gave me. Okay. And I find alternate ways of going. What I tried to do was make sure that I was avoiding all interstates and highways. And you just literally follow the streets, and you want to set this up where you have all the street names listed. So notice down here in this bottom left, you want to click all roads, and suddenly, look at that, West Blackwell Street shows up. So when you click that in, you're good to go. And so now you know all the different roads, and you just follow the path and try to find alternate ways of going about it. And that's what I did. And I hand wrote all the different alternate roads to get me where I had to go. Now if you have a regular Microsoft, there's ways to draw lines, and I wish you have to use the right click on your mouse, and you can actually set up using the keys up here to actually draw your own path. You just go up and you just keep drawing all along different road paths. And you, like I said, and you just write down, as you pull in closer, you zoom in, the streets actually just come into focus. And you just follow your way, you know, staying within the general, you know, you just zoom out if you lose your way, in the general vicinity of the directions it gives you. And that's pretty much what I do. And you also make note of different lakes and everything that you might be able to have to resupply. Say if you don't have enough water, you always make notes of the different lakes. And there's another one up there, another one up there, you know, along your path. And familiarize yourself with your area. Whatever area that is. And here we're dealing with 67 Bassett Highway, as I'm making everybody all dizzy and popping things up because I'm looking through a video camera while I'm doing this. And that's how you utilize the Google Earth in a nutshell. I really urge you to really get to use this a little bit more and get an idea of what you're doing with this. And it's a pretty amazing tool. And then you can print out an example of this, which I'm going to show you in a minute about my area. basically, yeah, this is my whole lake. The whole lake, I mean, it's the biggest lake in New Jersey. You can't even fit it on the table, it's so big. And what this does is it gives you other water sources nearby. And it gives me, I'll show you this one example. Here's a pathway. It's right in the middle of the woods that's behind my house. This whole thing right here is all the woods behind my house. There are all the houses and the communities, and all of this is woods. And then over here you have a quarry. That's digging out rock and whatnot and making gravel and sand. And one thing that I found when I printed this out is I can see where the power lines are. And right there, it's like a pathway, almost like your own little road to get through the woods. So that's something that I really would not have known unless I had an aerial map. And that's a great resource when if I get an ATV, or even if I have a vehicle, I can actually drive my four-wheel vehicle right through here. They have roads so they can inspect the power lines and everything else. So it's really important to have a map of your area and to learn your area. And this also tells me where the communities start showing up again outside my woods and how it's mapped out. And other possible water sources too. Not that I would need to use them, because I don't think this is going to dry up anytime soon. But this is an example of knowing your area. Your fortress, your home. This is your well-being. This is where everything that you have is stored and defended. So on top of this, you want to get every map that you're going to need that's going to get you where you're going. Now, some of you don't have any place to go in case something really bad happens, so you're going to be, your home is your castle, as we've said. So all you're going to really need is this map. You can get them at any camping stores. You can order them online. Delorme. It's like a Christmas story. Fragile. And you just really get to know your areas. And this is just a very detailed map. And this is something you'll keep on hand and at the ready in case you have to leave with your bug out bag. And that's another whole other thing I'll have to go into. But first things first, we're trying to get to know our area around our castle and move slowly inside our castle and what we need inside there. So make sure you pick up one of these. This is very important. With these three things, these are the main majors, and you know, you can't have these two without having some place to be and some place to be protected from the elements. Unlike most animals, we require ways to regulate our environment to make sure our core body temperature is at an optimum level. I mean, we're very susceptible to heat exhaustion, and we're very susceptible to hypothermia, and you basically can't defend yourself, nor can you have a significant amount of food, water, or other supplies without your shelter. So this is where we're going to be focusing on. I'm going to try to incorporate water and food all together with the shelter scenario, and then we'll branch off and begin to go into everything else.